These are steps on how to actually say alpha all the time. Now, see, when you go to your friend's house, right, and they're like, oh, hey, me and my family are having dinner, you got to bring your Tupperware there with your food so they see that you're not going to eat their poison that they're going to feed you, because you got to eat your 50 grams of protein, 60 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat for the rest of your life so you can stay fucking big. These are small things that you can do every day just to show that you're better than everybody else. See, when I originally started lifting to get girls. Then I quickly realized the actual reason I work out is just to be better than everybody else. So don't fall into this trap of being beta, be alpha.
What's up, everybody? Mind Muscle Connection, episode 46. Today, we're talking about being the alpha male, what it means to actually be alpha, and what's the real story behind those that act alpha. Talking about this topic, Dibz gets into some stories from his Jersey Shore days, which is honestly some of the best shit I've heard in a while. So you guys need to tune in and listen to that. Now, because of some parts of this episode you may not get because you can't see what we're doing, check us out on YouTube on the NLP Warrior channel and watch the video version of My Muscle Connection on there. You can also catch us on Spotify and multiple other platforms that podcasts are posts. Make sure to like and subscribe. Help us out, satisfy the algorithm. Enjoy. All right, guys, we're ready to go. This is My Muscle Connection number 46. Today, Akira brought an interesting topic talking about what really is an alpha male, how they act. And I think we should head into that, how people that act alpha males usually are not alpha males. And I've seen this a lot with men and women too. So what people that act all big and bad, usually if you're a badass, you don't have to carry yourself like a badass. So that being said, Akira, go ahead and take it away. Tell us what inspired you for this topic this week.
All right, well, I got to get my act together here. Dibz is distracting me.
Be an alpha, bro.
Be an alpha, bro.
Be an alpha.
So no, I was scrolling through my Instagram, and I see this girl. Funny enough, she goes and she starts posting about her workouts, and then she says, well, I don't need to prove anything because I'm alpha. I'm just looking at that video and I'm going, well, you don't need to say it because it should show through your actions. I mean, yeah, I get the whole self-love and the self-expressiveness, but if you claim you're alpha, you got to walk the talk. You can't just say you're alpha and then just put out videos claiming you're alpha. I mean, I don't know what her life is like, so I can't really judge her for who she is, but all I'm saying is if you really want to show the world that you're alpha, you got to walk the path of the alpha. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, right? This is what I have an issue with. It's like you claim to be something, but then when people discover that you're not, guess who's going to be embarrassed, right? It all boils down to how you carry yourself, how you express yourself, how you move through the world. People should recognize that as being something. Now, me personally, I don't like labels. I don't like the whole idea of being alpha, being beta, being all this shit. I am who I am. I am my authentic self. That's all I know. If people call me alpha, great. If people call me sigma, beta, I don't give a shit. That's their opinion. But I'm saying, if you claim to be something, walk that path rather than just wag your mouth and open your mouth and just say shit, right? That's the premise of today's topic, I would say. Jed, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I usually say if somebody's parading themselves around like this big, bad, tough woman or guy, then they're usually deep down, they're not shit. They got an insecurity issue. They, one thing I fucking hate that people do to try to seem like they're a badass, and I mean, I used to be guilty of this too, is talking shit about other people, like trying to bring themselves up by putting other people down when they're not around. They won't do it to their face.
Yeah.
But somebody will walk away from the table and the person next to you will be like, man, this fucker, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, this person obviously is wanting me to see them bigger than this person here. But this guy's, first of all, talking shit. So he's got some fucking issues because I didn't ask. I didn't ask what you thought about this person. I'm just trying to eat my food or trying to read this book, and you're just chiming shit out because you're wanting me to know that you're better than this person when I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I see shit like that. People that the shit they post. I've seen people post shit about how badass they are in the gym and stuff, and do the exact opposite of the shit they post.
Yeah.
Like, no one ever skips leg day and then skip leg day. Like, what the fuck? You just did that. I mean, what are you doing? You know, like, who is out there that you're so fucking worried about impressing?
Yeah.
You know, most guys that are really like, say, badasses or manly or alpha are usually minding their own business and doing their shit to make themselves better. And they don't have to carry themselves like that, because when the shit hits the fan, you'll see it come out.
Yeah. I see
That's
this in
the
my
fucking
gym.
truth.
Yeah, I see this in my gym all the fucking time. This is one guy, Dibz knows, I'm not going to mention his name. This is one dude, this big fucking meat machine. He walks around. I get it. Like, he's got a body that's, you know, it's you look at it and you go, okay, he's been working out for a while, right? Dibz doesn't agree that he has a great body, but, you know, people that look at him think that he has, and he thinks that he has a great body. I agree with Dibz. I don't think he has a great body, because I've seen some of the IFBB pros that go to that gym, and I've seen posts that Dibz has posted, and I know what a true IFBB pro would look like, you know, in general. This guy, what he does, he brings his tripod, and probably, like, I don't know, like 2/3 into his workout, this guy takes out his tripod. He fucking puts it on, you know, whatever whatever machine's available, and he'll start recording himself. He'd take his shirt off. He'd start posing for like half an hour. He'll start like posing in all different poses. Now, I don't know if he's competing, because I've never heard him talk about competing. I've asked people, is this guy competing? Because if he is, I want to get his insight on posing and shit in the event that I do get into men's physique. This guy isn't competing. I found out he isn't competing. And he's just doing it for his Instagram. And I go on his Instagram, and Dibz, you can agree with me on this. His entire Instagram is just filled with pictures of himself. He claims he's a coach and that he's an alpha coach, but I've never seen pictures of his clients. Not even one. It's just all him. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck is this guy doing in the gym? Like, he's wasting everybody else's time. Like, he's making use of the machines. He's putting his shit on the machine when someone else can use it while he's taking those pictures. You know what I mean? It's like, get off that fucking camera, man. Dibz, what are your thoughts, man?
Look, guys, I come from the most alpha place in the planet, the Jersey Shore. All right. It doesn't get any more alpha than that. All right. We go to the beach for two reasons: to take our shirt off and to judge people with their shirt off. So I got the ins and outs on how to truly be alpha all the time. All right. Like you said, you want to do it, you got to fucking live it. You got to live it all the fucking time, bro. Even if don't work out, you got to at least look like you do. So, for example, when we drive, what we have is what I used to call Belleville style, right? And it's very important because you kind of sit back, slouch like this, arm on the steering wheel like so, and you keep your tricep in a flex position all the time. So when you're at a red light, people see this motherfucker's got some triceps, right? That's one of the most alpha things you can possibly fucking do. Second thing you can do, right, is getting into the water. See, this is one of the biggest things is when you get into like a pool party, like you're at the shore, like, yo, bro, want to go to my pool party? Yeah, all right. So you go over to the pool party, everyone's got their shirt on. You can't be the first guy to take your shirt off because now you're the fucking douchebag with the shirt off. So what you got to do is pretend to argue with somebody at the other end of the pool. Want me to take your shirt off? What? All right, I'll do it. Boom. Shirt comes off, get in the water, get back out. You good. Okay. Step number 3, my personal favorite, is the Frisbee. Say you're going to play Frisbee with somebody. Yo, do you want to do some frizz or catch a ball? Hold on, get you hot. Take the shirt off, put it on your shoulder, which will remain for the whole entire party. Play about 2 minutes of football, boom, shirt's off, okay? These are steps on how to actually say alpha all the time. Now, see, when you go to your friend's house, right? And they're like, oh, hey, me and my family are having dinner. You got to bring your Tupperware there with your food so they see that you're not going to eat their poison that they're going to feed you, because you got to eat your 50 grams of protein, 60 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat for the rest of your life so you can stay fucking big. These are small things that you can do every day just to show that you're better than everybody else. See, when I originally started lifting to get girls. Then I quickly realized the actual reason I work out is just to be better than everybody else. So don't fall into this trap of being beta, be alpha.
That sounds so original from the heart, Dibz. It kind of worries me a little bit. Like, that's not scripted.
As he turns around and flexes his triceps.
I'm trying to take a drink. Trying to drink my sugar-free Powerade.
Dude, if I'd have known you in your Jersey Shore days, we would have fucked some shit up, dude. It would have been crazy.
One of us would be dead. I think. Quick story, right? Quick story. I'm at the shore, right? Me and my godbrother Rich. Should have said his name. Anyway, so we're drinking, right? And we're just talking around. There's these like 75-year-old girl. I'm talking like white hair, right? All the lady, and they're sitting and just watching the water. Tell them they're fucking like retired, right? So I was like, you ladies want a shot? Like, oh, we're too old to be drinking. And I'm like, oh, come on. Let's do a shot. Pretend I'm going to go fight the Nazis tomorrow, right? So I'm over here. Come on, we're going to go to the speakeasy, you and me, right? I'm one of these like 75-year-old ladies. So we all do shots, right? A couple minutes later, I'm wasted, right? I'm on the other end of the bar. I'm hanging out, and my Rich goes, yo, we got to leave. Why? I look over, I just see an ambulance, and some old lady was like, she was like that. I'm like, oh, we got to get out of here. We just ran. Fucking may or may not have killed that old person. I don't know, but we just know that those two old people, we should not have given them alcohol. And me and Rich were like, we're in the water. Like, what happened to those old ladies? Like, I don't know. We gave them shots and we left. That was it. So,
do you ever like see what happened or follow it up or anything?
Fuck no, man. You don't return to see the fucking thing. I just know. Gave them shots. Ambulance showed up. We got the fuck out of there. I was like,
you could at least listen to the obituaries for the next couple of days to see if they popped up on it or something.
Yeah, U.S. Navy sailor feeds fucking alcoholic beverage to 8-year-olds. No. Yeah, but I'm super homesick. I miss going back in May to the Jersey Shore. There ain't no place like it, man. There's no place. I've been around the world in the Navy, partying everywhere. There's no place like Seaside Heights, man. It is everything that I just said it was.
I gotta check it out. I've been to a lot of places. I've always wanted to go watch a Jets game in Jersey. Actually, I want to take a trip to Jersey and do that. The past couple of years I haven't, and if you can follow the Jets, you can pretty much guess why. But I still would like to go see a game and check out Jersey. I thought about moving there for the longest time, but it never went through.
Yeah, the Tollable State, bro. That's what they call it.
I think I'd fit in. I've had people tell me I'd fit in all right up there.
I thought you were from Jersey when I first met you, because you're we laugh at the same shit. You got that same we have a lot of the same personality type. So I actually thought you were from. I was trying to figure out where the hell you were from, because I saw you were a Jets fan. I was like, he's probably from like the southern area of Jersey, and then I was like, oh no, you're not. You're from fucking Redneckville or whatever.
North Carolina, yeah, it was weird. I think I'm like a reincarnated 80s metalhead roadie from fucking Jersey or some shit, because you follow what I do. Like it's almost. I've had guys tell me like, dude, you should have been born like 20 years ago before you were, because I'm in the wrong fucking decade.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure. So now, why do you think guys put out? I mean, it's an obvious answer, but I especially want to hear what you all think about it. Well, a guy puts out this alpha front. Like, what is it that they're hiding?
Let's see, bro.
Yeah. Why are they so concerned with getting it though?
He took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what you think about it. Every fucking guy that puts out pictures of them topless and shirtless, what do you think they're after? It's so obvious. They don't have to say shit.
Validation too.
Yeah, like fucking, they're after the attention. They want girls to message them saying, hey, you look hot. Give me a shout. Give me a holler. Right?
Okay, but if a guy's like real alpha and like actually a badass, he doesn't have to chase fucking women on Instagram.
Yeah. That's why the contradiction exists in the first place. Right?
I don't think I don't know. I just never been like that approach. I don't just trying to flash out and peacock, as I say it, to try to get women. It's just, I think it's stupid. I'm not big on the dating game thing anyway. I kind of just live my life, and then whoever I cross paths with, it happens, it works out. That's fine. I think that's the best way to do it, because usually you end up meeting somebody that's a lot like you that works out. This chasing shit is just, it's gotten even stupider with social media, and guys can go and blast DMs and makes them feel good. I get it. At the end of the day, how many of those girls you actually fucked? I mean, they're on the other side of the world. They're in different countries. They're talking to you while their boyfriend's at work. When Tori comes home, like, most of them don't give a shit. So I just don't. It's like for self gratification, just like thumbs up.
Yeah, that's the new currency, right?
Now, when you're younger, you'll do it and you'll learn a lot from it. But when you're like our age, it's like, nah, fuck this. I'm not. I don't like focusing on doing that shit, honestly.
Well, here's the thing. I think the whole alpha trend, and I call it a trend. It is a trend if you think about it, right? The alpha trend started in the early 2000s when pickup was at its peak, right? You had the book that came out, The Game by Neil Strauss. Every guy read it. Every guy and his mother fucking read it, right? And they thought, okay, well, if I do this, this, and this, I'm going to be considered as alpha. But they never really understood that in true definition, if you really look at the psychological definition, the scientific definition of what an alpha male is, it's, why do they call the alpha the king of the group, or the leader, or the pack leader? Because the alpha leads by example. The alpha doesn't need any excuses to be who he is. The alpha doesn't need to prove himself that he's worthy. His actions prove it anyway. It's like he's so comfortable with himself, he doesn't have to do anything to get validation from other people. He'll just do something and people will look at that and go, oh, fuck, that shit's cool. I want to be like that. Right? You look at every leader that's been successful up until now. You name a leader, they've been leaders for a reason, right? You look at the previous president. There's a reason why they called him a leader, because he knew shit. He knew how to handle shit. He didn't have to prove it. People had opinions about him. You know, you had fucking the press conferences, reporters coming at him from left, right, and center. Right? And they're like, hey, what do you think about you calling it? It's like, he's like, fuck, I don't give a shit. This is what it is. You take it or leave it.
He actually got so much shit done that he didn't have time to talk about all the things he did.
Exactly. Right? His actions proved otherwise. And now he's sitting in the back and he's going, well, I told you so. Because look at what's happening right now.
Yeah, first of all, the alpha thing did not happen in 2000. It happened February 16th, 1985. The release of The Karate Kid with fucking Johnny Lawrence coming out. The OG alpha of Cobra Kai karate. All right?
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, that's when the first alpha, he was the first ever, as far as we know, documented alpha male. Coming in, fucking, and then fucking Daniel LaRusso had to start his bullshit trying to take his girl, and then some old dude goes and trains him. No. Daniel, fucking the Karate Kid, Johnny Lawrence. That's my kind of alpha male. 80s rock and roll.
He's still living his roots today. He hasn't changed. I'll agree with you on that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these guys that put this front out are actually very insecure, and they're actually the opposite inside. Like, you know how many times some guys are like, yo, you want to fight? And the minute you say yeah, they're like, well, let's just talk it out, because they don't really fucking do shit. The guy who's going to fight, usually the quiet one that's just going to knock you the fuck out when the shit hits the fan. They're not going to sit there and talk. I see guys, man, they'll sit there and talk. I'm like, by the time you could settle this shit, you could have knocked him the fuck out already. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
It's because everybody's watching, so they're parading around and shit. Or if you just went up and knocked him the fuck out, it'd been over. Then everybody, like you said, everybody been like, oh, fuck. Guy came out.
I actually have a story about that. This happened to me personally. So I was at a bar, right? It was a Japanese bar. I'm chilling with my friends. We're having a good time. This guy across from me, right? He's at the other table. He's looking right at me. Now, I didn't give a shit because this guy was just like, I don't know, for some weird reason, he was just like, I don't know if he was enamored by me or whatever the fuck it was. He was looking right at me like he was making eye contact, right? And I'm sitting, I'm thinking, what the fuck is up with this guy? So I'm chilling, I'm talking. This guy gets up and he walks over. And then he looks at me and I said, yeah, can I help you? He goes, why do you speak Japanese? In a heavy Japanese accent. This guy is Japanese. So I said, well, I speak Japanese. He's like, well, why do you speak Japanese? Well, because I speak it. I just kept repeating my line. And he's like, no, why do you speak Japanese? And I said, well, buddy, listen, if you really want to know, why don't you come and have sit down and have a conversation, have a drink with us. I'll explain it. He's like, no, I want you to get out of here. I mean, he was going off and
he's like being a racist pretty much.
Yeah, he was just being a racist. And I could tell this guy probably he pegged down a fucking shot or two and he's kind of buzzed. So I'm just sitting there, I'm chill, I'm cool. And, there were these female friends next to me. They're like, please don't get up and fight him. Please don't get up. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do anything. Let this guy let him have his moment. And he's having a spotlight moment. Let him have it. This guy's like going off. He keeps being, no. And like fucking Miyazaki kind of voice. And finally, he starts leaving because he realized I'm not giving him the reaction that he wants. So he starts leaving. He goes to the exit door. And I kid you not, this is exactly what happened. You cannot make this shit up. This guy stands at the exit door. He has it half open. He peeks through it. Like as he's leaving, he peeks behind him and he looks at me. He goes, your mother's a fucking bitch. And he fucking, tries to jet. I'm like, okay, this guy needs to, I fucking lost it right there. And nobody brings my mama into the picture. You can talk about me, but not my mama. So I got up. I'm like, yeah, hold on. I'll get up. I got up, went outside. I caught this guy. He was trying to run away, but I had a shortcut. I just walked around the building.
You had a shotgun?
No, a shortcut. I found a shortcut.
Okay, sorry. Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, I wish I did. I wish I did. I just pulled out my sawed off and fucking blasted his head off.
You're in Canada. You guys don't have guns over there.
No, we don't. No. I caught this guy, I confronted him, right? And he realized I'm probably twice his height. He looks up at me. He gets shit scared, right? I catch his fucking neck like this. I hold him here like Darth Vader. I held him here. I said, listen, man, you ever show up at this bar ever again, I'll make sure I'll package you like sushi and send you back to where you came from. This guy starts peeing his pants right in front of me. And his friends look at him and they just fucking get disgusted by this. And so what happened was I tell him, okay, I tell his friends, just pick up your garbage and fucking leave. This guy's like, I'm so sorry. I think it was the alcohol. I said, I don't give a shit. Let's get the fuck out of here. Right? This is what I'm talking about. These guys are everywhere. Everywhere. They will talk. They will start yapping away. If you give them the reaction that they want, it's you're going to only prove them right. You're going to prove whatever they're talking about you, they're going to prove it right. But if you don't give them that time and you just stay calm, composed, you've got your own space, you're in control, you're the master of your own self, they will eventually ignore you. But unlike this guy who fucking went out that door, looked behind him and started calling my mama shit, that's different. But I just wanted to highlight that, it's guys like this that say that they're alpha, but they're not.
I got a question. Do you think you have guys that will tell people they're going to do stuff? I'm going to win this. I'm going to kick this guy's ass, etc. Do you think they do that because they're trying to convince themselves up here? And if they verbally say it out loud and tell everybody, then they're trying to convince themselves in their head that they can do it, because honestly, them on their own, they can't get the vision in their head of what they're trying to achieve. So instead of trying to convince themselves that, hey, I can do this, they go out and they tell everybody, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And really, because how many people say they're going to do something, they never fucking do it? 99% of the people. And I think they go around and tell, because if they tell, then they think they've convinced themselves that they're going to. I don't know. Because there's the whole manifestation, visualization, and people think it's just talk and think when there's really a lot of action with it. But I think a lot of people still can't envision themselves doing something because they either have low self-esteem, they're insecure, or they just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, well, if I tell people I'm going to do this and do this, then this is not like what they're thinking. This is more of a subconscious thing that they may not realize they're doing. And they'll say they are, but when in reality, they have more doubts than anybody about what they're going to try to do.
Yeah.
You understand? Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I'll let Dibz go first here because he spends a lot more time in the gym than I do.
You know, on a serious note, you know, it's another fucking around, man. I've dealt with so much alpha because of where I grew up, man. You know, but there was a lot of greatness that came out of where I'm from. And I think that has something, at some point, something to do with it. I think when you're living in a city, specifically my city, and I'm going to name off a lot of people just to begin with, right? You have to be alpha amongst the alpha all the time, even if they're fake alphas, because you don't really know. There's going to be something in you that's going to either make you want to actually be what you couldn't be, or you're so used to trying to be something. You know, I would almost say fake it till you make it. But if you're generally trying to get there, you will. And I'm going to name, like, from my town, just Belleville, New Jersey, right? I love my hometown. I love where I'm from. I talk about it all the time. You know, you had, and specifically from New Jersey, you have like the first ever 4-time Rutgers champion, and Anthony Astronaut came out of South Plainfield. First ever in the country. You had, you know, Frankie Valli, Casey Catanzaro, Joe Pesci, Sean Clarida, the 212, first ever qualify for 212 and open is from, I'm trying to figure out where exactly he's from, but he's from like if we're in Hawaii, right, where you got Pearl City, then you got Aiea, and then you got right. It's literally one of those neighboring cities. The same concept. You know, and it's first ever to be qualified for the 212 and the open, right?
Yeah, because he won an open show, right?
He won the Legion Sports Festivals to weighed 178 pounds.
Guy's fucking monster, man. He looks
right.
Good.
So, what is it about Belleville and its neighboring cities, that Northern Jersey attitude that produces My Chemical Romance, that band of My Chemical Romance? Right? People have heard of them. My grandfather.
Yeah, listen to them, man.
Yeah, my grandfather. He watched them grow up. Right across the street. So when I used to work there, they used to come by. Fans would come by, and I used to point them to their house because it was down the street from where I lived. So there is something about the attitude, that alpha attitude from being from Belleville. I don't know if it's still there or it's diminished, but it has brought a lot of fucking super greatness. You know, I'm hoping to qualify. If I qualify for the Olympia in the next 2 years, judging, I've been following it well. I'll be the first active duty in the Navy to qualify for classic physique, classic physique division. So, you know, I'll be the first ever to actually do something. But, you know, and a lot of this stems from, man, I got to remember where I came from. I came from fucking Bell. We called ourselves, I post about all the time, the family with the bloodstains and stuff. That's what we called ourselves. And there was a high reputation. Every motherfucker was either alpha or pretending to be alpha. So I don't know, in all honesty, if it's necessarily a bad thing, but I think, Akira, you're right. When you say it, you gotta believe it to achieve it. You have to live the lifestyle. You got to set the examples.
I don't think it's a. Go ahead.
I was going to ask Dibz something. It's like, what's your theory on why this is so prevalent in Belleville? Like, what is it about Belleville you think produces these types of alpha males, or even females for that matter?
I think there is a sense of selfishness and this is my opinion. This is but it was, I'm going to be the best and fuck you. Fuck the little guy. I'm going to beat you and I'm going to go home and fuck the prom queen. That was it. Like I remember when me and my buddies were talking, and was like, dude, you know, being second best, no one gives a shit about second best. You win. And in order to win, you had to be selfish. You have to do all, you know, have a lot of it. You got to be a little arrogant. You're going to have to be a little cocky. You know, if you're going to be the best, you're going to have a lot of those things. I know I met multiple, you know, the national champion, Darian Caldwell, in wrestling, 2-time national champion, one of the most profound wrestlers in the country and world. He was super. He used to do backflips and jumps after he'd win. Anthony Conti would be like, after the show, he'd be like, after the contest, they'd be like, so how'd you feel? He goes, dude, everybody here sucked. Like, competition's not even at my level. Best believe he lived that lifestyle though. So I think that's it. That's the mentality, is everybody sucks and I'm the fucking best, but I'm going to prove it to you. So was it just
that last little part's what matters?
Yeah, right. I'm going to prove it to you. That's the thing. I'm going to prove I'm the best.
I got this. I've met maybe 2 or 3 guys in my lifetime that really acted alpha. Whether they really were or not can be questioned, but they always had huge exaggerative stories whether you wonder if they were true or not, and blah 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 and all this shit. But when it came down to needing a hand, needing help, or somebody covering your back, they are always there. So I'm like, people are like, this guy's so full of himself. Like, maybe he might be, but he's actually a pretty cool guy. He's just putting up this front. But if the shit hits the fan, he'll probably be the first person you count on that'll be there to help you out.
Yeah.
So I've met some guys like that, and I just, let the front slide because I know they're actually a good person. They're just, I guess, putting on an act. I don't know. But some of the coolest guys I've met have been like that. And when you first meet him, you're like, dude, what the fuck is up with this guy? But,
everybody's met me. Everybody that's met me in person, I would say for the most part, has immediately hit me with that Jersey label. You see the spiky hair. I normally have a tan, and I walk around, kind of because of where I'm from. That was it. And a lot of people, they don't get it, and they immediately think, oh, fucking Jersey douchebag, fucking Guido, fucking thinks he's all him. And then they actually eventually get to know me, and I've had people literally come and apologize. One of my best friends, who just goes, dude, when I met you, I fucking couldn't stand you. And another one was like, dude, I met you. I'm like, yeah, I can't hang out with this fucking guy. And then you actually get to know me, and I'm like, just, I'm one of the guys. I've always been one of the guys. I like being one of the guys. I don't judge people on shit. But that very first impression is because I'm very proud of where I'm from. I'm very proud of how I grew up, and I carry that with me. So that first impression, always get everybody fucking slaps me with that label.
You always own it though. It's not, you've never denied it. Yeah. Like when people say you are that, you're like, yeah, I'm from fucking Jersey. I'm like, oh, well, he knows, so fuck, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Shit.
Man, I'll tell you, my changing point was 2005, dude. I was a skater boy, man. She said, see you later, boy. That was fucking me, man. I had, when you had the long sleeve shirt and when you wore a short sleeve over it, that's that indication I like punk rock, right? That's what I used to wear, right? I had the Atticus thing, and right. So my buddy's like, yo, we're gonna go to the club. I don't know how to fucking dress. And it was August 15th, because I remember it was my transformation day, right? Like, I remember I'm at the surf club. It was teen night. We're like 17 years old, a whole bunch of teenagers there. And then these dudes show up, man. They show up, dude shows up, black tank top, spiky hair. He comes out. He was jacked. He was probably not jacked at all, but from a 17-year-old eye. What up, Guido? They walk up, and it walked right in, and all the girls went crazy. And I was like, that's what I have to become. And then I was like, the next day I was like, dun, 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 dun. I started spiking my hair, put the tank top on, started lifting some weights. It was 2005. I'm like, I'm changing it. I'll never forget that day, because the next day, me and my buddies, the next day, we're like, yep, we're doing this.
I don't know if I ever had a point of realization where I started figuring shit. I think you just slowly, like, I would still say I'm still in the process of changing and learning shit. But I sometimes I try to think back, what was my trigger point that kind of flipped where, like, all right, I need to get my shit going in the right direction. I can't think of it, but I know this past year, 2 years, that's pretty much all I've been doing. So I don't know. Maybe I just get 38. I'm like, all right, I need to stop being a douche. And I don't know. I mean, it's as you said that, it started making me think about that, because here lately I've been really focused on a lot of shit, and even going back to my past and cleaning up stuff that I did, and even to the point to where, it's a little bit of a tangent, but like when I was just drinking and doing really stupid shit all the time, those people I contacted, like, hey man, I was a fucking douchebag. Sorry if I made any inconveniences and shit. Most of them were like, nah, dude, we're just drinking, having a good time. But I feel like
don't kill Jed. Not that people have killed Jed.
Yeah. So I've been trying to, I don't know, man. It's I'm trying to think of like what event maybe triggered that, and I can't think of it. I think you just woke up one day and was like, just start getting focused, dude. All right. Start making sacrifices. If you've got to read this textbook on how to do diets better, and you got to sacrifice not driving Lyft, that's what you got to do. You do that fucking serial killer shit. What the fuck? Haven't you ever seen what movie was it? Happy Gilmore?
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison, yeah.
Billy Madison. Don't kill this guy. He goes,
yeah. That shit.
I did that during a briefing once, right? I had to give this briefing, and I was like, there was all like high-ranking officers, and I kind of knew what I was doing, but I was fucking around and not at the same time. So I got done reading it, and I was like, yes, and these reports will be out at this time. The satellites are up, and so far, all conditions are normal. Everything's looking great. And then the next guy started. I take my chapstick, and I was like,
that's some Navy shit.
they're looking at it, whatever.
No, I was going to answer you, Jed. I think if I had to simplify and make a one sentence definition of what it is to be alpha, I think it's self-awareness, right? If you can embrace your own self-awareness.
Dude, that's good. That's good.
Like you talked about realizing as you go. I think that's beautiful because that's exactly how we learn. I think my defining point, everybody has their defining point, as Dibz had his. My defining point was my divorce. When I divorced and I came out of that, I realized I don't want to take any BS and succumb to it. I want to be able to walk the path of freedom without validating myself, without needing an excuse to be who I am, because that's what I was living in the past. I was this yes man. I was this yes dear who was just fucking, beat like a slave to do the partner's bidding, whatever she wanted, whatever she asked for. And I was just like, well, after that, I was like, nope. I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to be exactly who I want and define myself to be. And that's how it started, right? And that was my defining moment. And I started realizing that as I went through that process of transforming myself, I realized it's not about the people around you. It never has been. Because we come into this world alone, and we go out alone, right? You can have any form of clothing, any item, cell phone, gold, watches, whatever with you in your grave, but they don't come with you.
Yeah, the Egyptians tried that shit. It didn't work out.
And it never worked out, right? Exactly. Yeah. And they try to hold on to their organs. What happened? The organs just fucking dissipated, right? It doesn't go anywhere.
I think my liver got shot 2011 in this fucking Seaside Heights. I actually got rid of my liver and just put a bottle of pickle juice there. That's what I used to get from hangovers. Just used to drink pickle juice, bro. That was it.
Jeez, man.
Think about getting rid of my liver and just putting pickle juice there.
No, my point is, what I'm trying to say is, be self-aware. Have that self-awareness. Show compassion for others when you need to, but have that self-awareness of exactly who you are, and just don't fucking give a shit about what other people speak about you. Because everybody has an opinion, right?
I have a turning point where I made that realization where I didn't stop worrying about what people thought of me. I think I've talked about it. I know I've talked with you about it with you, Akira. I don't know if I've talked about it on the show. But
I think you spoke to me about it.
Yeah, Dibz was around during that time, so he knows about it.
Yeah.
So because what I realized is a lot of guys that were talking shit were the ones that were wanting to do the same thing when nobody was looking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I realized, why do I give a fuck what these people think when I'm the only one with the balls enough to do it out in the open?
And he'll try to gaslight you too. Yeah. He'll fucking try to guilt you into feeling like you got to prove something to be like them.
Yeah. Right? And I mean, I saw their messages and stuff like that they sent when I wasn't around. I know what they were trying to do. So these were like guys that were married, guys that were talking shit about the ones that came in the gym. And I was just like, really kind of made me think, like, why in the fuck do I want validation from these people? Like, they're liars, they're insecure, and they're afraid to be themselves. I should be more worried about setting the example instead of getting validation from these guys. And that's what I started doing with that.
You know what the best response is? You know what the best response is to guys that say shit like that? Like, you get those guys that come say, hey, bro, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this, man. This is what makes you. I'm like, the first thing I say to them is like, says who? That shuts them up.
I call those guys the varsity team. I see them in the gym. It's always like this one like kind of in shape military person with like his 4 little minions around him. He's going to teach them, and it's always the same thing. It's always like this on the rowing machine. All right, watch. Ready? Hey, you watching? Ready? This is how you do it, bro. This is how you do it, right here. And then the other guy gets on. He's like, the thing is, they're wearing actual gym clothes. That's a funny fucking thing. They're wearing gym clothes. Like they're gonna go work out. You know what I mean? Nah, bro. You need the short shirt. You need to get at me fucking band, bro. That's how you dress when you go to the gym. You're gonna be alpha. And then they're over here. I'm like, oh, these poor fucking guys are all, and they all last about a month, and then they're gone. You'll never see them again.
One thing that was kind of weird. One thing that was really weird to me when I moved away from home was people actually dressed up to go to the gym. Where I was from, now that gym has gotten a little bougie since I left, but it used to be the only gym in the county. We used to wear our old fucking shit clothes to go work out in because we were going to sweat and get dirty.
Yeah.
With rust and shit. Like we were trying to get a tetanus booster. Like we were trying to go fucking train. And, when I moved away, I saw people like, you paid that much for those shorts, but you're going to go to the gym in them. Why would you fucking ruin those shorts? Like that was my mentality. Like that gives you an idea of where the fuck I come from. Now it's more modern, but the time I was living there, like, dude, we were I used to just cut up fucking old shirts and put in my gym bag and just pull one out and put it on. Like you look like you just got out of bed going to fucking gym, but they are old clothes.
You remember in Rocky 3 when Apollo, he wore that like the belly thing when they're running on the beach?
The crop tops.
Crop top. So one summer, this is like 2005, that same summer, I'm like, I'm gonna bring that back. So instead of getting measurements and like trying to like actually
measurements,
grab a shirt, grab some scissors, cut it right through, and it looked like and I used to go work out in it too, thinking I'm cool. Like my mom was like, "What are you doing? Why'd you do that to your shirt? It was all lopsided and fucking hanging." I'm like, oh, I made one of those 80s shirts. Oh, it was so bad. Now, dude, next time we actually dress up when we go to the gym. So we pre-play, we match together. We're that fucking.
Oh yeah,
we should wear that as uniforms for NLP Warrior. We should just like fucking have a seminar.
Amanda's always got some matching animal print shit or something she wears in there.
Yeah, she was like, babe, what are you wearing? I'm like, oh, I'll wear the pink shirt and the black. She's like, all right, wear the black, this, and pink. So we always got to walk in like that couple wearing our matching clothes. That's us. We're that lame white couple.
Next time I get lean, I should do a video in pit vipers in a crop top. I'd probably get like 1 million TikTok likes right there. I actually was like thinking about doing some stupid shit like that because that's the type of shit I do.
The tucked in tank top. Time to bring it back. You're gonna get nothing says 80s like a fucking nice tucked in.
Yeah. The tube socks too. I thought about bringing back the tube socks with the two colored stripes at the top.
I love those, man.
I miss those.
So I was in yesterday. The military put me through a CFL school, right? It is like is command fitness leader, so it's like 7th grade gym class. How to teach 7th grade gym class, right?
Yeah.
I won best performer award, and I went in there Richard Simmons style, like teaching it legitimately, like 1 and down and twist and 1 and right leg everybody and up and down and twist and 2. Keep going, guys. Let's go and up and down. Dude, everyone was fucking dying laughing because I'm like, I can't take this shit seriously. I can't. But I just have fun doing it. I went in with that 80s fucking camp counselor mindset and
dressed like Simmons.
Best performer.
Should have got a video of that.
You should have dressed like Simmons, man.
I was trying to, but they wouldn't let me because you need a public affairs officer if you're going to record military. So,
God damn it, that'd have been gold.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's the thing. It would have someone would have seen that shit and been like, that's our military right now. And then having me lead it. Come on, guy, because we're not allowed to do jumping jacks anymore. So you can only do half jacks. So you just go halfway up and down because it's too dangerous. That can't do flutter kicks, can't do 8-count bodybuilders because unless you're like a special warfare.
I remember when we still had to do 8-count bodybuilders. That tells you how long ago I was in.
Well, and their reason for it kind of I kind of actually makes sense, right? You know, it's called contracts, and what they're saying is that if you're, let's just say, an IT, you sit behind a desk all day, right? You want to train kind of for what you do. You're an IT, you're on a ship. You want to be able to be flexible. You want to be able to move around and be healthy. You know what I mean? You don't need to train to go swim. So doing flutter kicks for thousands of them, what is not going to help you? Right. So, I mean, I get what they're saying, but I think they're kind of watering it down a little too much. Like jumping jacks, really? And they're like, well, the studies have shown, follow the science that if you do jumping jacks, this.
I hate when they say studies show. Oh, like, give me those studies. I want to see those studies.
No, he had them. He had them. Like, he got his fucking legit. Yeah, no, he had everything. Anything you asked for, he says, I'll email it to you. Got it. I'll email it.
Here's my 2 cents on military PT tests. If you're in the fucking Navy and you're not special warfare or not a rescue swimmer, you should be able to maneuver through ladder wells, P-ways, and escape scuttles and fight a fire because that's what you have to do. Those are emergency situations you have to do on a ship.
Yeah. You
show me a flight deck where there's a 1.5 mile stretch that you have to run. You show me a P-way that's 1.5 miles long. There fucking ain't none. You need to be able to get through small spaces, up and down ladder walls fast, and you need to be able to carry the apparatuses and stuff to fight a fire without getting worn out. That should be the standard. And I even think the Navy, they need to be strict on the size to weight standards because you have to fit through an escape scuttle. So they now if you're Army, it should be different. Like the ACFT looks a little more, actually the Marine version looks a little better, but the running 2 miles, like you show me in a war where you're going to run 2 miles that fast with all your gear on. Now, forced march makes sense, but I don't see guys trying to get a 2 mile run for time with all their gear on being shot at. I do believe sprints, carrying stuff, dead man's carrying ammo, that shit makes sense.
And that shit should be timed. It should be, I think it should be on the ship. You should be able, this is just hypothetical, what I believe. It should be fight a fire for 45 seconds, drop down, pick up a dummy, get him out of here, perform CPR, 5 cycles of CPR, get up and down the ladder well in this time. That should be it.
Fucking that's perfect.
That would be real life.
How fast can you get the breathing apparatus on? How fast can you help your buddy get it on? Like, can you hold that hose for a certain amount of time with all that water coming through it? Do you still know how to relieve the nozzleman? You know how to do all this shit? Like, that should be the tests. Pretty much battle stations.
Applied tactics.
Mini battle stations just to see if you can do it. And you do it, I would even say like twice a year, the same thing as PRT time, PRT cycle. But it ain't gonna, that'll never happen. Not with this administration.
No, they want to see how fast you can fucking make corn dogs and shit. God damn, it's gonna give me fucking start on them. Fucking poopy pants.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a little off topic there, but that's okay.
That's all right, man.
All right, man. We're just shooting the shit here.
Dude, that's some of the best shit. I just that's my I can't remember who I was talking to about that fitness test up the other day, but I was just kind of right. I was like, this 1940s shit just doesn't cut it anymore. And we've also evolved as humans. So this whole like you're 5'8", so you should be 120 pounds is like fucking bullshit.
I am 5'6". I'm supposed to be 170. I'm like,
good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, that's why they have 3 different tests. So that if you fail the weight, then you do the choke. The stomach, just the stomach. If you're under 39 inches, you're good. And then if you fail the 39 inches, then you do so you actually have 3 chances to make it. You fail all 3 of those. Now they don't even kick you out if you fail. So you don't even get kicked out anymore.
I just thought of something. Back on topic. Sorry, it was fucking. How many people do you guys know that will go out to work or come out in the open and play this big badass persona, and then when you find out it's because at home they're the bitch? Yeah. I'm talking grown ass men. Mm-hmm. They'll be the ones like getting yelled at and shit at the house. and they have to balance that by going to work and being this alpha asshole.
Yep. Projection. That's all projection, right? My ex-boss, when I used to work in corporate, that's exactly who he was. He actually stepped down as the studio manager and gave that position to me. I became studio manager right after him. But before that happened, this guy, he would literally, so I used to work, so just about, you guys already know this, I've said this a ton, interior designer, right? Yes. So anyways, so he would look at the drawings. So we would have drawings that we would do, right, for certain designs, concepts and stuff. He literally look at the drawing without even, spending so much as 5 minutes on it. You look at it and be like, this is shit. Go back and learn how to draw. This is shit. We spent fucking 8 hours on that drawing. This guy doesn't even want to look at it. He says, that's not what the principal wants. I'm like, have you taken a look at it? Have you spent time and then checked the drawings that I've done, the details? He's like, no, I just look at it. I'm like, no, I see so many errors with the concept. I'm like, this douchebag, he's just taking it out on everybody around him, right? And I found out that he was going through a very bad marriage. And he stepped down for that very reason, because he couldn't handle what was happening at home. And people realized he was being toxic at work. So they had to take him out of the equation. Right? This is exactly what you're talking about, Jed.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Where people have issues and they resolve it by taking out other people. So, or things, or animals, or something like that.
And that's not being alpha, by the way. That's
no, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. You're just being a dick.
But you're also putting up this front outside of your house because you can't be who you want to be inside the house.
Right.
Or you're trying to balance it out. And I've seen that shit quite a bit. Almost to the point to where if I see somebody come and act a certain way, I'm like, I bet they get their ass beat at the house. Or get told to do the dishes or something they don't want to fucking do.
The same thing with females too. I mean, you look at, you ever, you go to a club and you see that one girl standing by the bar. They call her, well, for lack of a better term, that's what they call her, the bitch. But it's just a front. And you get past that wall, she's a softie. And you realize that this is a girl that needs all the care and the attention. That's why she's just projecting it out, because she can get it at home.
Speaking of bar, there's a way to get rid of alpha people in the bar that I've come up with a long time ago. Okay. And it works. Requires two people. So you're at the bar, dude's being alpha, being an asshole, right? Whatever, and you got to get rid of him. So you stand next to him with your drink in left hand. He's on the right. Your buddy comes by, shoves into you by accident. You spill the drink on him. He gets pissed off. What the fuck, dude? Spill your fucking drink on me. All you got to do is apologize. Dude, I'm sorry, dude. It was an accident. He's going to keep going. He's going to keep going. Bouncer comes, kicks him out. Now you're back in the alpha position. That works. I've done it. I have done it. It is not the prettiest thing or most moral thing to do, but man, we're trying to get rid of that fucking douchebag at a bar, man, who's starting trouble. It's gotta go with that. Need a name for that technique, but
yeah, that actually reminds me. That reminds me of 2012. That actually reminds me of another guy that I knew. This guy was, well, I don't know what he was. He was a wild animal. This guy would get drunk all the fucking time. You know how he would get girls? This is exactly what he did. I'm not even fucking kidding you. This is exactly what he did. People around him have seen it. I've seen it with my very own eyes. He goes after the couples. He doesn't go after the single females. He goes after the couples. So what he does, he'll try to pick the girl up right in front of the guy. He'll actively say something like a pickup line or some shit in front of the guy that she's with. And she'll say something like, no, I'm taken. My boyfriend's right here, blah, blah, blah. He does this to piss the guy off. The guy gets pissed off. All right, get this. I'm painting the picture exactly as it happens. Guy gets pissed off, tries to start a fight with this guy. My man here, all he does is he feigns. He just raises his hands up. He says, I'm terribly sorry. I did not know. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I accept it. It's my responsibility. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. And the guy's still pissed off, right? Now he looks like the asshole. And the girl's trying to hold him back. She's like, no, you'll just call him Jimmy. Jimmy, no, please don't fight him. And my man here is just like, I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. He keeps apologizing. Meanwhile, the partner, the guy, the boyfriend, he raises his voice, starts yelling at the guy. He's almost ready to smash him. The girl gets fed up and she says, I'm going home. And she tries to call a cab. And then this guy here, he starts like becoming compassionate and shit. And meanwhile, the boyfriend's like, well, Mary, where are you going? You can't just walk out of a drive-in movie. And then, my man here is like going after the girl and saying, should I call a cab for you? Are you okay? You look a bit, he starts playing that supportive role and she falls for him, man. I saw it happen. She gets in the cab with this guy and they take off, leaving the boyfriend on the sidewalk like this. Woo.
Can't knock the hustle.
All right. Well, on that note, I gotta use the bathroom, so I'm gonna call it a day. You guys tune in if you want. Check out NLPwarrior.com. Follow us on Instagram and all that good stuff. And what's it called? YouTube again. And we'll see you guys next weekend.
See you next week. It's been fun.
Later, bro.
Later.